So in yesterday's video, I mentioned something about the search engine on Roblox, specifically the games part of it being incredibly broken. Or I said something like it was real close to being broken, but then after making that video, I kind of realized it's broken in more places than just the games tab. And my suspicions were almost 100% confirmed by one lovely young individual in the comments of my previous video. See, I absolutely do read my comments, and most of the time it's a pretty fun experience. Go ahead, leave a comment and I'll be here waiting for you. My eyes will most likely meet with your comments sometime after this video gets uploaded. So I look up Pepsi pants and I get dark demon boy crown sparkle crown fedora. The clothing area of the catalogue on Roblox is a dark place that I don't like to visit very often. Like the UGC and community creations section of the avatar shop is all sunshine and rainbows. Meanwhile, we have shirts and pants over here being the dark and gloomy pits of hell. Am I exaggerating when I say that? I don't know, man. I'm gonna leave that up to you to decide. But I do know that I see what I see and I know how I feel about the Roblox catalogue. Guys, I have a really difficult question to ask you, and if you need to take a few minutes to think about this, I totally understand. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you have ever visited the Roblox catalogue for absolutely any reason whatsoever. Oh, and of course, we cannot forget to subscribe if we're new to this channel. Hello, my name is Chloe Gims, and I can only assume that you don't want to be missing any videos from me. Thank you for putting up with me, but just a couple of seconds ago, I decided to do exactly as that comment said. I searched Pepsi pants up in the catalogue, and I didn't quite get some dark demon boy fedora. But the thing is, that was probably an exaggerated joke for what really happens, and we can come back to that problem later on throughout this video, but before I forget, I really want to be talking through the issue that sits on my screen right in front of me. Like I just mentioned, I simply searched up Pepsi pants and I may as well be drowning in Pepsi right now, or suffocating in pants with a Pepsi design. I don't really know how to go about wording that. There is probably hundreds of thousands of the exact same clothing item. I guess it looks like they're copied and pasted just over and over again for as many pages as you could possibly think of. The same goes for any of the clothing types and for quite literally any word you search for in any of those categories. Oh, what's that? You feel like wearing a specifically red outfit, but you don't quite know what exactly you want to wear? So why don't we search simply for the word red and see which unique pieces of clothing we are met with? Well, we seem to have hit a wall in our quest here. This is fine, let's remain enthusiastic and not lose any of our positivity here. We can just go to the second page and check out what's going on over there. Well, never mind then. There goes all of my hope and positive thinking flying right out of this window. But now my curiosity levels are very, very high. I have some gloves that I created on my Roblox group many years ago now, and I just want to see if anyone may have taken those as well. Searching only for Chloe Games, and let's hope this isn't censored like my username. Of course there is thousands of copies of the same shirt that I literally remember creating in like 2016. This is absolutely insane. I couldn't even come close to understanding how this works or how this happens, but I think based on the thousands and thousands of stolen copies that appear on almost everything that you search, and all done by what appear to be different clothing groups, I would assume that it's done by bots. Well, bots operated by actual people, but I'm sure you know what I mean with that. And that actually makes a lot more sense than other theories that I could come up with here, not only for the obvious reasons, but also because of that one ban wave we saw in 2018, I think it was. Roblox banned thousands of accounts brackets again. Yeah, during this ban wave, the exact same thing happened. Innocent people got caught in the middle of it all, and although they've never done anything to deserve the punishment that they received, they got hit with a ban or account deletion as well. Like, I'd probably even bet on some of those innocent accounts still being banned or deleted to this day. But that ban wave was apparently targeted specifically towards people and groups who were involved and familiar with the act of clothing botting, which is literally just when we see those hundreds or thousands of stolen and re-uploaded clothing. Like, yeah, when we see these copied or stolen versions, we just think, wow, that's crazy, and move on and forget about it. But if you were to actually sit and think about this, you realize that a real human somewhere out there sat and took the time and effort to create this entire clothing asset. But we are never gonna find the original version or the original creator of any of these, even if we spend hours searching for them. Plus, if this were to happen to you, you're probably just gonna get a bunch of people either not believing that you made it, or people telling you, yeah, it happens all the time, get over it. But this should not be a normal thing to happen, and people shouldn't be expecting this to happen. I would imagine that the only thing you could do about about this is contact Roblox. I don't know how else someone could go about this, but at the same time, I can't see Roblox support caring enough to go out of their way to look into finding the original creator and then taking down all of the stolen versions of it, which really sucks because look at it this way, it's a little harder to do so, but if an entire game was to get stolen and re-uploaded by someone else, it would get taken down so fast. Why does this have to be so different for clothing designers who create their own forms of art in their own way? Much like the other things we've been discussing recently, this has been an ongoing problem for as long as we can remember. You know, I don't quite 100% remember, but I seem to have also talked about this literally 3 years ago in 2017, except that video was created using text-to-speech and Overwatch as the background gameplay. Yeah, 2017 was a dark time. Plus, I literally just titled that video Roblox Catalog brackets rant. Again, I seem to have had a liking towards using only 3 words per title back then. But let's get serious here. On a real note, I understand and I appreciate that the solution to the stolen Roblox clothing issue, whatever that solution may be, is probably a little bit complicated to achieve. They've tried the whole ban wave thing before, much like they recently did with exploiters, except this previous ban wave was in 2018 and as far as I'm aware, that was the last time they even thought about doing anything to tackle the catalogue problem. What else they could do isn't something that I alone could come up with right here and right now, but I mean they could literally do anything and that would be more than they've tried to do about this in a long time. I did go to a few owners of the stolen clothing groups and many of them appear to be banned or terminated, although what for is probably a completely different story, and I think it's gotten to such a point of millions of pages of stolen clothing that a comeback from this state is likely to be a much more complex process than it could have been if they didn't let it get so out of control in the first place. As for why the people doing the botting and the stealing, I don't think we need to get into this very much, but I've had people tell me before that the Robux earned goes through DevX, and so they could be earning possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars from something they didn't have any part in creating, because when a newer player goes to the catalogue to buy a shirt or something like that, they are just going to buy whatever they see on that front page with no questions asked. They are none the wiser to what's going on, and I'm really not trying to throw shade at Roblox or anything like that. I'm not trying to be negative towards them. I'm trying to have this come across as constructive criticism more than anything else, and I guess a slight bit of hope that they can eventually try to do something and stop this, because I can't imagine it's very fun for the original creators and designers of these clothing assets. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of the Roblox clothing catalogue and how obviously easy it is for people to steal these clothes. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.